Hi, welcome to Turn a Stone Tarot. For today's reading, we're asking the animal spirits to bring forth messages that they consider important for you at this time. I'll be using the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck by Krans, and this deck contains mostly earthly animals, but a few mythological creatures as well, so you may encounter some of those in your reading. Please choose whichever animal or animal image you feel most drawn to. Pile 1 is the sea serpent, which is a mythological creature. Pile 2 is the elephant, and pile 3 is the owl. Timestamps are below. Please feel free to click on your timestamp and jump ahead to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the sea serpent, and you chose the one mythological creature that was available for choice. So I'm getting the sense that you're a very imaginative group. You might be a very creative person. The sea serpent card is a card that's associated with emotions and creativity. It's also associated with the second chakra, which of course is the creativity center on the body. So creativity may be a strong theme in your life. The Sea Serpent card is also associated with healing emotional wounds, so that may resonate for some of you. And it is a card of sort of universal mother energy. It's a card that holds us so that we may become our most authentic selves. It holds us and keeps us safe so that we can express our desires and become who we are truly meant to be. So, really beautiful card here. I did also choose more animal cards for you so that the animal spirits can make themselves known here in your reading. The first card that came out for you is the bee card. So the bee card tells me that you're a very hardworking person. Also that you may be a bit sensitive. Bees are very sensitive to their environments. Again, this bee speaks of creativity. You know, they sort of fly from flower to flower, collecting pollen and then creating this beautiful honey out of all the pollen that they collect. You may be an artist of some kind. You're a very sincere person. I get the sense that, you know, you are very vibrant and you enjoy kind of going about your work and doing your thing. Um, but the bee can become overworked occasionally. That is a possibility with the bee. So I don't know if you've ever had a situation in your life, or maybe even currently have a situation in your life where you're feeling overworked. With this card, I was also getting the sense there may be collective wounds because the sea serpent is a card of healing emotional wounds. And with the bee coming up, you may have been in a group or some kind of collective where you or perhaps felt wounded or stung by the group for whatever reason. Something may have occurred that left you just kind of feeling stung. That's a possibility that's coming through from the animal spirits as well. But in terms of personality here, this shows me a very hardworking person, a very vibrant person, a person that's really drawn to beauty and loveliness and creativity. So very nice card there. I pulled another card for you from the animal spirits, and we got the peacock card here. So the peacock tells me, again, it's pointing to this love of beauty and vibrancy. So these two cards together really point to an almost artistic nature, loving beauty, loving vibrance, and you may be a colorful person or somebody who really loves color. That's a possibility. With the peacock spirit here, you're very good at accepting others. You're a very compassionate person, and you're very accepting of, you know, maybe some trials and tribulations that other people have been through, or, you know, you really see the world in a very holistic way. So you're very accepting of others. You're also very accepting of yourself. I feel as you've kind of journeyed through life, you've learned to understand yourself better. You've learned to become more accepting of yourself and your own nature. You're also very good at assimilating all kinds of things, as is the bee here. So this is really coming across very strongly. That you can take different ideas and different concepts, maybe even different physical medium, and you bring them together in really beautiful ways. So you're very creative in that sense. You may be a very confident person. You're very likely a very kind person. Occasionally, when the peacock energy gets out of balance, it can have some digestion issues because it's so wonderful at sort of assimilating things and bringing things together. When it's a little bit out of balance, digestion issues may appear. So just be aware of that. But really a lot of lovely, colorful energy here with the bee and the peacock combination. And then, of course, I drew a third animal card for you, and you received the owl card. And the owl card is a really lovely card to get. This is a positive omen. So this is very lucky to see the owl in your reading. The owl is associated with abundance, and it is often thought that when the owl appears in your reading, you are soon to receive a treasure of some kind or a positive opportunity. Something wonderful is about to enter your world here with the owl. So comment down below and let us know what this wonderful treasure is that's about to drop into your life when it appears. Feel free to share. It will be fun to see. But also, I wanted to point out with all of these cards, the bee, peacock, and owl, these are all air elements here. These are all creatures that move through the air. So you may resonate with movement. Maybe you're a dancer of some kind, or you're engaged in movement of some kind. The air element is very highlighted here. Also, it points to mental activity. So you may really spend a lot of time in your head or your imagination, imagining new worlds and new ideas, and the imagination may be important to you, or simply just a lot of mental activity dealing with, ideas and concepts and things of the mental nature. So that's very strongly indicated in your reading. This owl here, I think as you're sort of moving through life, you've learned to sort of understand others and understand yourself. And you may be moving into a phase here where you're beginning to even understand the unseen here. Owls, they can almost see in the dark. So you're developing the ability to sense into situations that aren't readily apparent. So, you can feel into the unknown, you can feel into things that aren't easily understood, almost a clairvoyant kind of ability here with the owl coming up in your reading. As I mentioned too, the owl is also associated with abundance. The owl is the companion of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. So with this tie to abundance, abundance may be a theme that you're working with in your life. Maybe you're looking to be more abundant. You're growing your abundance. If you are experiencing any sense of lack or feelings of scarcity, the owl spirit does invite you to make an offering of some kind. This can be a powerful antidote to feelings of scarcity and lack. So whether that's volunteering somehow, some way, or donating an item, or donating financial resources, or donating time, making an offering to the world in some way can be a wonderful way to combat any feelings of scarcity or lack that may be sort of finding their way into your life. So beautiful animal energies coming through here for you. Again, a lot of sort of spiritual energy. The sea serpent is a card of the spirit realm, and then of course you've got all of these air cards here. So I get the sense you may be a very spiritual person, somebody who's certainly comfortable with that which is unseen. I did pull some oracle cards for you as well from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. And the first card that came out is the Star Seed card. So you may identify as a star seed. Again, it's the sense of spirituality, is a sense of coming from the beyond, coming from other realms, the non-earthly realms. That may be relevant for you. The words on this card are, what lights you up? So the animal spirits are encouraging you to look to the things that bring you joy at this time. Look to the things that you feel passionate about to move your life forward. This wonderful passion that you have is really going to help you find your way sort of through the earthly realm here. I get the sense that with you having this much air in your reading, the earthly plane may not be the easiest for you to traverse at some times. So, really look to your passions to move you forward along your path. And then another card that we drew for you is birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So I get the sense that you very much came to Earth at this time to help birth the new age, to make life on Earth more beautiful, more conducive to health, more conducive to beauty. You have a lot of beauty indicators here in these cards with the peacock and the bee. A lot of beauty, a lot of color. So I really think you're the perfect kind of spirit, the perfect kind of energy to be on planet Earth at this time to help make the world a more wonderful place. So the animal spirits are commending you for this, and they're encouraging you to keep going. They really love what you're doing, and they love the visions that you have for the future. And then finally, another card that came out for you was the Soul Family card. It says, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So again, with the bee, I was almost feeling a sense of like being wounded by being part of a past group. Maybe something, could it be a family environment or an organization or a club, any number of things. And it'll be different for different people who are watching. But with the peacock and the owl, they're pictured as singular birds here. You may have kind of become more independent as a result of whatever occurred here. And in this independence that you've developed, you may feel a little bit alone at times, like it's difficult perhaps to find like-minded spirits. The animal spirits are very much encouraging you to find your flock, as it were, with the peacock and the owl here. Call in your tribe, and to look to communicate with others who may also see a similar world vision that you have in mind, because I think you have a really beautiful vision of how life can be. And it's important that you connect to your soul family so you can join forces and really manifest this at this time. Very beautiful reading, my pile ones. Before I closed your reading, I also asked the sea serpent if it had any additional messages for you, being the signature card of your reading. And I was told to tell you that you are loved. So someone out there in pile one really needs to hear this. You are loved, and the sea serpent would really love you to understand this at this time. You are loved. So with that, pile one, I'm going to close out your reading. Thank you so much for joining me here today and joining the animal spirits. I thank the animal spirits for showing up for our reading today. It's really lovely having their energy around, and I've really enjoyed being in your colorful, vibrant energy. It's been a lot of fun. So thank you very much, my pile ones. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this reading. This is a new format for me, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts about it. Please feel free to comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you in a future reading. Thank you. Hello, pile two. Welcome to your reading. You chose the elephant card. Let me start by saying the elephant is a very auspicious card. It's a sign of good things to come and of success. So by your choosing this card, that's a very good sign immediately. So congratulations there. The elephant is known to be unstoppable. It's known to be very wise. It carries immense wisdom. It's a very focused creature. It can really hone in on its desires and work through them until it reaches success It's also a very generous creature, a very loving creature. The elephant is known to work with obstacles to bring people to their success. It can remove any obstacles in your path, or it's been known to place obstacles in one's path as well, and then redirect that person to an even better outcome than they had anticipated. So it can use obstacles both ways, by placing an obstacle in to redirect you, or taking an obstacle away. So I think the elephant is bringing its medicine to you at this time. It wants to assure you of success in the future, and it's also bringing its focus and its generosity and its wisdom to you through this reading. So welcome to the elephant, and let's also look at the other animals that came forward for you today here. See what they want to tell you. So the first animal out for you after the elephant is the whale card. And the whale is very calm, it's very steady, it's a very compassionate animal, it's very peaceful. You may have some of these qualities as well in your makeup, so you may resonate with those qualities of the whale. The whale has been known to overcome many difficulties in its life, so again, this may resonate with you. Like the elephant, it also carries very ancient wisdom, so you may feel a bit like an old soul here with the whale card. It also desires to delve deeper. It's unafraid of difficult terrain, so you may be somebody who's not afraid to talk about difficult subjects or do difficult things in life. The whale is very comfortable, going into the depths, as it were. The whale spirit does need regular self-care, so you may be one of these people that needs, self-care on a daily basis. Other people, can forget a day of self-care or a week of self-care and seem to be okay. But when the whale card shows up, it often indicates that you may be a person who needs very regular self-care in order to stay in balance. So beautiful card there, the whale. We also had the starfish come out for you as well. And the starfish is very beautiful. It's very alluring. You may be somebody who's very attractive. That may resonate with you. It's a very uplifting energy. It can be very artistic and very expressive. It has that sort of star quality that we often think of. When this card comes up, it can bring out a few sort of questions in life. It may be asking you, what is your deeper calling? That may be something you've been thinking about. You may be, especially with it next to the whale here, the whole concept of depth may be something that is prominent in your life right now. What is your deeper calling? What is your deeper meaning here in life? It often asks us to wonder, are you being swayed by outward appearances in any way? It's very easy to be caught up in how things look or how they seem or how they appear. But that may be an area that is good to question in your life at this time. The starfish can also rely heavily on the opinions of others. It can be associated with people pleasing. So maybe this is something that you're seeing in your life somehow at this time as well. The starfish, in order to come into better balance, often needs to have positive friends around it. So it's a very social creature and it really benefits from others, but it's good to have positive others around it because then the creature can open up and be its authentic self without, worrying about criticism or judgment or, negative energies coming at it in some way. So positive friends are very helpful to the starfish energy. So that may resonate with you in some respect as well. I'm also seeing both the whale and the starfish here are water cards. They're water creatures, which to me points to the emotional element. So you may be somebody who feels a lot of things. Maybe you feel things very deeply here with the whale card present. But very, very much deal in the world of emotions and feelings and that whole emotional area of life is very active for you. I do want to point out too, the whale and the elephant, when I see these two cards come out in a reading, it does sort of hint at a tendency towards depression, with those energies being, sort of the heavy mammal energies. And when those get out of balance, they can experience this emotional heaviness. So that may resonate with a few of you out there as well. So we wanted to point that out. All right, and then we also got the moth card for you, and the moth is of the air element, so new element. You've got a nice mix of energies here in this reading. And the moth is a creature that's very enthusiastic, it's very whimsical, it's very attracted to lots of things, and that's, also maybe the downfall of the moth is that it gets easily attracted to things. It can be attracted to easy solutions or things that are shiny or new. The moth really likes to sort of flit around to this and that, and oh, here's a beautiful thing here, and here's a beautiful thing over there. So, we're all very familiar with this moth energy. So this may be showing up in your life somehow. So it can be helpful to balance this nature of the moth by looking at the complexity of life. And again, here with the whale and its depths, that may be something that the animal spirits are trying to communicate to us here today. If you can sort of shift your focus, perhaps, and understand that life is complex. The moth spirit can often wish that life were easier somehow, or wish that life were different than it is. But if you can change your perspective to looking at life as an infinite mystery and redirect the relationship with life to one of, exploring the infinite mystery as the whale does, through the ocean. It explores the depths, explores the mystery, explores the hidden realms. That can help to ease some of the sense of flightiness that the moth can have. Also, it's helpful for moth spirit to finish things as well. It's almost that sense of, turning one's attention here and there, and starting too many things at once and not completing them. So if you are experiencing this energy at all, really paying attention to things like the elephant is bringing in the focus here, and bringing them to completion can help ground the moth energy a little bit, so it feels a bit more balanced in life and not like it has, a million tabs open at once. So that is what the moth spirit wants to share with us today. I did ask the animal spirits for some oracle cards as well. So I've drawn some oracle cards to help bolster your reading here today. And the first card that came out was boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And this is a really interesting card to come out, especially because we have the elephant, which has to do with trust and trusting people, trusting others. And then the starfish here, which tends to want to project its energy outward to others and tend to heavily rely on others for feedback. So I think this card is inviting us to really bring some of that energy inward and look to our own authentic feelings about things and try to distinguish where we may be overly projecting to others to, inform how we feel about ourselves or how we feel about the world. I did draw another oracle card for you from this deck, and the card that came out is the Align Your Life card, and it says, what is not aligned or needs to change? And for this card, this is a kind of a complex card, so I'm going to actually read from the book here for you. It says, what in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be, But there comes a time when it is harder to hold on to this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we have changed and align life to that way of being. If you pulled this card, you're being called to let go of who you once were or the things that you once defined yourself by, the job, the relationship, the mask you wore, and to embrace who you truly are now, to courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity, to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it is time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so they are congruent with who you truly are today. So I think the book says it so well. I wanted to read that aloud, but it's really speaking to, this authenticity that the elephant, I think, is wanting to return you to here. And with all of these different energies at play, the whale and starfish and moth, there may be a bit of seesawing kind of back and forth. But the goal here, again, is to center back in on your authenticity. And so the final card that the animal spirits brought forth for you was Sun. It says healing energy, happiness, comfort, and joy. And here I'm seeing a very joyful nature here with the starfish and the moth showing up in your reading. There's a lot of joy and brightness in these creatures. So I think you have the capacity for great joy in your life. And by being more authentic to who you really are, you can invite some of this in. Also, I'm struck by the fact that the sun is it's a fire element, of course, and your elephant card is also, of the fire signs in this animal spirit deck. So fire, being a little more fiery, adding a little more energy to things may help you to return to this authenticity and, be the more joyful soul that you are. Also, I wanted to point out this card has a little moth on it, which is startling to me. The moth is here and the moth is here. So that synchronicity always tells me that we're on the right track here with this reading when we get the sign showing up a couple of times in a single reading. So that is the message that I have for you from the animal spirits today, pile 2. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Let me know what you thought of this reading in the comments down below. This is a new format for me and a new topic. I haven't tried this one before, so I'd be curious for your feedback on it. Please leave a comment, let me know. And I want to thank you again and thank the animal spirits for joining us here for this reading. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the owl, and immediately I need to let you know the owl is a very good sign. So this is often considered a good omen. It's one of the most positive cards in the deck. It indicates that an opportunity, a positive opportunity or a treasure is on its way to you. So the owl has very good news for you. And when you have the owl in your reading, it often also indicates that you will see and know exactly what to do so that this treasure or opportunity can enter your life. So very good news with the owl. The owl energy is very generous, it's very trusting, it's very secure. The owl is also associated with abundance, so you may have some abundance entering your life in the very near future. It is considered to be the companion of the goddess Lakshmi, who is the goddess of abundance and fortune, good fortune. So it is associated with this prosperity, abundance, fulfillment, things of that nature. The owl is also associated with clairvoyance. It has this ability to see in the dark and to see things that you can't usually see with, standard vision. So having sort of an almost otherworldly ability to see into the unknown, to see into the future, perhaps. The owl is a very strong signifier for that. So welcome to the owl energy, and welcome to your animal spirits reading here. I was only going to choose 3 cards for you today. You are the only pile that got 4 animal spirit cards. I was choosing the 3rd card, and 2 cards insisted on coming out together. So There are 4 animal cards here for you, and then I have some oracle cards for you as well. So let's get into your reading. The first animal to make an appearance for you is the frog. And the frog spirit, it's all about clearing and cleansing and healing. Frogs, when they're in balance, they have a very clear energy. They're very enthusiastic for life. However, when I was tapping into the energy of this card, my first sensation was of feeling rather depleted. And the card usually speaks to the opposite of that. So, perhaps some of you watching this reading are feeling a little depleted in your life at the moment, maybe a little tired, a little weary, a little depleted. And the frog spirit is coming through to help rejuvenate you. Frogs need a lot of self-care. They need their environments to be like very healthy and very pure. Frogs are not meant to carry a heavy load. Frogs, they can't bear a heavy load. They're very sensitive creatures. So if you are feeling depleted, the frog spirit is suggesting that you spend time in or near a body of water. Water could be very healing for you. If you can get to a bathhouse of some kind, that would be very healing for you. Almost consider yourself almost a frog. And whatever you would want to do for a frog, if you can do that for your own body, you might consider that to be very rejuvenating at this time. And so the frog spirit would like to offer you those healing energies during this reading. The second card that I have for you is the deer spirit. And the deer spirit is very loving, very intuitive, very graceful. This card is also associated with being a mother, having motherly qualities. In terms of, this card is also an omen of sorts. It's considered to be an indicator of birth or new life entering your life soon. So perhaps that applies to you. Maybe you're welcoming a child somehow, or new life of some kind. Could be a new animal into your life. It's often the card of new parents. The deer spirit is very calm and loving. It indicates that gentleness and compassion are needed in whatever situation you may be dealing with in your life at this time. Gentleness and compassion will go a long way towards creating the best outcome in that situation. This card also indicates the healing modalities of nature and children. So spending time in nature could be very healing for your spirit at this time. And spending time around children could also be very healing. Children are they tend to be very bright and very outgoing, very high vibrational. It can be a lot of fun to be around and very pleasant to be around. So spending time around children could be very beneficial to your spirit as well. So beautiful energies here. I'm also getting a lot of sensitivity with these two, the frog and the deer, both very sensitive creatures. They can pick up on a lot. They need their environments to be pretty calm and stable. Otherwise, they get out of balance quickly. So maybe these are qualities that you can relate to here as you're listening to this reading. And then the third animal, or beyond our owl anyway, the next animal energy that came out for you is the oyster. And the oyster speaks to being patient. Oysters are also excellent secret keepers. This card can talk about hiding inner treasures. The oyster itself, when everything is going well, the oyster feels very blessed. It feels very generous. It can feel very masterful. It can create these little pearls out of, just simple sand, and it can create this jewel out of sand. So oysters are fabulous masters in the world. It also speaks to inner gifts. However, this card points to, especially with this shell image here, we're not seeing the pearl, we're seeing the shell. So this card can point to some withdrawing. Maybe there's a shyness, a withdrawing, a pulling away. So this card comes to tell you it's important to reveal your inner treasures. That's going to help you progress in life, to reveal those inner treasures. In terms of healing advice, the oyster asks us to share something. So perhaps for you, if you can, share something with the world that might help you to loosen this energy a little bit and begin to start revealing those beautiful inner gifts that you have that will help you be more successful in the world. And then the fourth card that came out and that insisted on coming out was the eagle. And this card suggests mastery over the elements. We have these two cards of mastery here. The oyster and the eagle are both kind of masters of their craft. The eagle is very powerful. It's definitely a truth seeker. It's all about transforming karma. It's almost a phoenix-like creature in that way. It's associated with strength, with radiance and brightness, and it's not afraid of challenges. The eagle is almost a very fierce creature. And I find it curious here that the owl and the eagle both came out in your reading, because I feel as if they're attempting to lend some fierceness, perhaps to maybe a more gentle and withdrawn nature here. You may identify as somebody who has a little bit more gentle and sensitive and withdrawn spirit. And the owl and the eagle are kind of bringing fierceness into this reading here today to help you, I think, rise up a little bit, because it can be difficult if these are our usual ways of being in the world. The more gentler frog, deer, and even the oyster spirits, they aren't as outgoing as the owl and the eagle. So let's look at your oracle cards. The card that came out for you here was the fog card, and it says obscurity and feeling lost. So this might be something you can identify with. I'm gathering that this is applicable to somebody watching this reading. Just this feeling of feeling lost, not quite knowing what to do next, not really being able to see the future very clearly. Especially with the owl coming out as your signature card here. This is a card that's trying to bring you into a place where you can see in the dark, and you can see through the fog and through environments that might seem a little bit murky. And it's interesting with your energies here, you got kind of water and earth here, which is mud, of course. So you might be trying to see through the mud, and these air spirits are coming in to help you have that ability. So you may be at a point in your life now where things are just feeling a bit obscured and not 100% clear. So let's see what else the cards have to say about that. These are the Whispering Woods cards here, and the first word that came out for you is clearing, which is so interesting. Oh my gosh, and I just noticed fog and frog they're so close, like they have almost the same letters in them, with frog just adds an R. But you also got the card of clearing, and the frog is very much an energy of clearing things out, of having a clear energy. So really fascinating that that's coming out in your reading together here. And also, what do we look for when we're in fog? We look for a clearing of the fog. We want that clearing out. We want the dissipation. So dissipation may be a word that resonates with you right now. So this says make room for growth. So whatever you can do in your life right now to make room for things growing, and maybe it is this welcoming of a child or a new life of some kind. Maybe a little bit of decluttering would be helpful. Maybe letting go of responsibilities in whatever way you can would be helpful. Letting go of obligations. Just making some space and some freedom in your life for more room, so that you feel a little bit freer and lighter and not so depleted, as I was getting with this frog card here. The next card that came out for you is the Cleanse card. And again, oh my gosh, right back to the frog. It says, wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glades. And that's exactly what these two cards were saying here. Specifically, spend time in nature with the deer card here, and wash your weary spirit clean is definitely the advice of the frog. Hydration is very healing to the frog. So if you're able to do these things, This might be very good for you at this time, help you kind of find your way forward through this murky place in life you may currently be inhabiting. Also with cleanse, it could be doing a deep clean of your home. It could be doing a body scrub of some kind, exfoliation, that kind of thing. It could indicate, spending time in a bathhouse. There's a number of meanings there, so feel free to interpret it however it feels most applicable to your life. And then the final card here is risk. And that card says, learn to grow wherever you are planted. And I'm really getting with the eagle card here. I mean, this card is all about like stepping into challenges. And with the word risk coming out here, and especially with this oyster being, in its shell a bit, I think the animal spirits are inviting you to step out of your shell, perhaps take a risk on something, even if it's within your own community, within your own environment. By taking this risk, you're going to be able to see new opportunities and see your way through this fog that may feel present to you at this time. So a lot of beautiful indicators in this reading. My pile threes, that both the deer and the owl are wonderful harbingers of good fortune and wonderful things entering your life. So do enjoy those wonderful things that are coming to you. I hope this reading has helped you. I hope it made sense for you and your life. Please comment down below and let me know what you thought of this format. This is a new format for me, so I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about it. And also, if you have any suggestions for topics that you'd like me to do future readings on, feel free to comment that down below as well. I do appreciate your time and attention. Thank you so much. I wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful year, and I will see you next time. Thank you.